I, 40M, have been married to my wife, 38F, for 5 years. I have 2 kids from my previous marriage, a son, 14M, and a daughter, 12F. My wife has a daughter from her previous marriage, 14F, and we also have a 3-year-old daughter together. Things seemed fine for a while, but over the years, my wife's treatment of my kids has become worse and worse to the point where I don't know if I can keep ignoring it. The issue is, my wife treats her daughter like a queen while treating my kids like they're less than human. Her daughter gets away with anything, talking back, slamming doors, being rude to the family, and my wife will never even raise her voice. It's all, "Honey, are you okay? And you must be going through a lot. Let's talk it out." But when it comes to my kids, it's a whole different story. She has no patience, and honestly, it borders on emotional abuse. My wife refuses to even look my kids in the eyes when talking to them. If my son tries to speak up at the dinner table, she will literally ignore him, acting like he doesn't exist. She's snapped at him to shut up over the smallest things, like asking if we could watch a different show. One time, he accidentally bumped into her while grabbing something from the fridge, and she lost it, screaming at him for being clumsy and inconsiderate. He apologized immediately, but she wouldn't let it go and told him to go to his room without dinner. My daughter gets it just as bad. My wife is constantly criticizing her for how she looks, telling her she dresses like a bitch when she wears anything that's not completely covered up, or calling her fat when she eats anything that's not part of my wife's strict diet. My daughter once came home crying because she got a bad grade on a test, and instead of comforting her, my wife yelled at her for being lazy and dumb, saying she would never make it anywhere in life if she keeps this up. My daughter now avoids being around my wife as much as possible, and I've noticed her confidence dropping to the point where she doesn't even want to go out or spend time with friends. Meanwhile, my wife's daughter gets treated like royalty. If she gets a bad grade, my wife will sit with her for hours, calmly going over what went wrong, encouraging her and saying, "We'll figure this out together." She gets money to go out shopping whenever she wants, sleepovers with her friends almost every weekend, and my wife even buys her expensive gifts, just because. And if my wife's daughter messes up or disrespects my kids, my wife just laughs it off as sibling rivalry. I tried confronting my wife about this, how she yells at my kids, never shows them any love, and treats them like they're invisible while doting on her daughter. She completely blew up on me, calling me overly sensitive and accusing me of babying my kids because I feel guilty about my divorce. She even said, if your kids can't handle a little discipline, maybe they're not cut out to live here, and suggested they should stay with their mom full-time. I don't know what to do. I don't want to break up our family, but every day feels like walking on eggshells. My son has started staying late at school to avoid coming home, and my daughter has become more and more withdrawn. I'm terrified that my wife is going to push them away completely or, worse, damage them emotionally in the long term. AITA for calling her out on what I see as emotional abuse and favoritism, or am I overreacting to typical step-parent challenges? Should I stand my ground or just keep the peace for the sake of our marriage and family?